This is the fifth part in a series of steps designed to show you how to work with a form of software known as the SRC for you. This software is to help you lift your own personal life force, your vibration. I like to call it voltage because it is measurable, and it's not designed to treat the body itself or to diagnose or to cure anything. It's purely working with the body's etheric blueprint. And if you have a physical condition, please remember you should seek the advice of your healthcare provider. If you've been working with the SRC now for days or weeks or months, you may notice that you're starting to look at life in a little bit of a different way. You're starting to see some things that you may never have seen. And this could be because as stress patterns are cleared and as your voltage goes up, you have access to more information from the web of energy that surrounds us. Some like to call it the matrix, but it's just an infinite web of energy. It's not unlike the World Wide Web that we use to pull in information on our man-made computers, but we as biological computers can pull in information from a much greater source. I want to remind you, this is not psychic work. I mean, seriously, is your cell phone psychic? Of course not. It's working with frequency. Same with your computer and many other devices we use every day and don't give a thought to. But with this new approach, this new software, is going to come a certain level of responsibility. You may start wanting to really help other people. You might even be developing a little bit of a business at this point, but you could also turn into a real pest. So there are some people near and dear to your heart who will want you to stay far away with this quantum software. Instead, your initial focus, and really still even at this point, should be you. And as you increase your voltage, you're going to impact others in a positive way anyway. In fact, as you go towards projecting the reality you desire, this has a tremendous impact on the entire planet. And as you develop awareness of how the universe really works, and as you decide to take charge of your own life, nothing really will be able to stop you. You're going to have a higher knowledge of how all these things work, which is going to amp up your creativity and your imagination, your focus, and your personal control. And these things have always been with you. They've been your assets, they've been your strengths, but you may not have been aware of them. And just so you know, this work isn't about fixing problems. In fact, focusing on symptoms or problems can be counterproductive. Problem solving just tends to diminish who we are because our suffering has given us some gifts. It's made us who we are. We've learned lessons from it. So we're not really looking for what's wrong. We can file these things away. We can appreciate them and focus what's right as we focus on raising our voltage, both our personal voltage and then perhaps even collective as we have our own impact on the world. Okay, so I think you're familiar now with how to load up. Perhaps in this case I'm just using my extended family as a demo, but I think you know I could be putting in myself, any friends or family who have given permission on an individual basis. I could be working with property or situations, etc. And again, I'm going to just hit the wonder click, but I do have some other things I want to show you first. You know that we worked with the dowsing tool, and that's all set up to go again. We have the Neigong and we have the Shin, which work to invert patterns of stress. We have the charger, which can be a very powerful add-on and something quick and easy to use daily. But then we have another panel we're going to look at today, and this is the general expert options. And you can see this really is packed with information. Acupuncture, area, body parts, child, infant, conflict involving cosmetic stress, defense mechanisms, elemental options, emotions, enhancements, female, and then down here is male, general, gland, injury, meridians, mind, attitudes, option, selection, organ, people, places, situation, pets, animals, and by the way, this is extremely beneficial for pets. relationships, resistance factor, state, stress factor, sustenance requirements, symptoms, and systems. So you can see what a wonderful feature we have here. So let's just get some ideas of how this might all come together. We're getting closer. And really and truly, because this is a platform for anything you could ever want to do, the progress never stops. But we're getting closer to at least being able to apply in some way the very basic features we've looked at. So let's hit the Wonder click. All right, so we see a theme here, energetic. And again, you may or may not choose to test all of these because there may be some other approaches. But let's look at energetic, just so you have the idea. And we've got a 98, so we've got some energetic stress at this moment in time. Let's go ahead and put that in the shin. And hit your enter key on the keyboard, otherwise that'll go away when you come back. And we see Sanjiao lower region. Now again, you may surprise yourself by starting to do some Google searches and looking at some books, etc., as you see terms that are new to you. Okay, you got 100 there. I personally am going to just let that go. Now we've got foot, both, inner side. Okay, I've got a 99. So I might choose at this point to go to my general options. And let me just stop this for a moment so this highlights. And you have several choices. For example, you could go down through the areas and try to find foot. But what I personally like to do, since everything is connected, I like to highlight this top one and then hit the down arrow on the computer and everything just loads right in. And remember, you can't do it wrong. So I have just loaded all of this in. We see moving pain. We go on down. Now here's endocrine. So again, let's check. Okay, we're going to leave that be. Reproductive. Okay, again, for me, I would let that be. Liver. And remember, no matter what tab you select, virtual Qigong is what's being sent. Okay, so we've got a 99 for liver. So I might choose to go over here and I might go to organs. And instead of doing the little down arrow, I might just go right here to liver. And now I've added liver, you see right there. So let's continue. We've got, for meridians, we've got the pericardium. Okay, 100. At the point, pericardium 7. Again, 101. Elemental correction. Okay, 100. And then we've got, again, the second panel. I like to go down the first two. We've got the stress related to ridicule. Okay, 102. At another time, we're going to talk about energies entangling, but probably not in this first series. But every now and then you will see things pop up that really aren't yours, but you've been exposed to it through perhaps another person or the media. All right, we've got the stress of panic. So what I would probably do would be to go into the shin, and I would just put that pattern in, hit enter, and see what I could do. But you also could go over here to general expert options, and you could look through here and just see if there's anything that is appropriate. If you know the situation with a little bit more detail, there might be something in here as well that would be appropriate. Stress related to the bladder. In our words to ponder, the optimist thinks this is the best of all possible worlds. The pessimist fears it is true. So again, just a few thoughts. Defiance. Clairaudience. Sparkling. Broken. Okay. Mental suffering. So you see how these things, remember this is the film in your camera, and your etheric field may entangle with others. So you will see some information that really may not be pertinent to whoever you're having as a stress management session. Okay, eyes. So again, you can do many things. You can put it in the Neigong. Or you might go over here into expert options, and you might look for example, here is body parts. And since everything is connected, you could either do the down arrow, or we probably have eyes in here. You see what an extensive list this is. Let's just do eye, both. So again, just another example. We still have more to cover, but again, you would be set just to hit your wonder click. And if you wanted to preserve these options over here, since you do have some different additions from general options, you could preserve these. Hit wonder click. Now go on in. Don't forget to finish up your shin. You're going to focus here, or excuse me, your Neigong. Let's go ahead and get the shin started. Then you've got your charger, so you might want to go in. And again, let's put water. Hit enter. Search, add. Now let me give you a little information on these time periods. Let's do done with charge. 1 minute is 2 weeks. That's why for water that you're going to be drinking, 1 minute is plenty. 2 minutes is 4 weeks. 3 minutes is 6 weeks. 4 minutes is 8 weeks. And 5 minutes is 10 weeks. So let's go ahead and start charging. The Neigong should be focused by now. And you're good to go. And thanks a lot again for watching.